Okay, looks like we are live, everybody. My name is Bahzad.
My name is Risa.
Good day, everyone.
Good day.
Welcome to the Naked Famous Denim live stream, the greatest raw denim live stream in the history of the world, and perhaps, not perhaps, the greatest live stream ever invented. Welcome. It is Saturday morning here in Japan. It is December the 23rd. We're almost there. We're almost at the finish line. We got to go see Santa this weekend. And then, is there a mascot for the new year?
Ebisu?
Yes, the beer company. Welcome, everyone. It's great to be here with you. We're going to talk about raw denim related things. We're going to answer your questions live. We're going to get me riled up and ranting at all kinds of weird and strange things for sure. But first, let's check in with the chat. Let's see where everybody is tuning in from. As you guys know, we're streaming live from Yokohama, Japan. It is the world international headquarters of Naked Famous Denim. BD is in the house. Hello, it's almost Xmas/birthday time. Are we talking about Jesus' birthday?
Uh-huh. Or his birthday.
Is it your birthday?
He's Jesus.
Treated myself to 2 pairs of anonymism socks from the sale. Cozy in the King of Slub 2 and Mutton Head Rainbow Speckle Hoodie. Happy holidays, friends. All right, well, BD, happy holidays to you too. Is it your birthday? That's why you treated yourself to socks? Or are you treating yourself to socks because of Jesus' birthday? Let us know. Plebeian Carlos with a little nervous nail-biting emoji. Ooh. Well, you don't need to be nervous no more. We're here. Dusty Rad title, howdy from St. Paul, Minnesota. Welcome to the stream. Cheddar Buttersworth, hello from Vancouver, British Columbia. The most British of all the Columbias. Mm-hmm. I agree. Correct. Jordan, hello or hi from Picton, Ontario, wearing my double dirty fade today. Hope it was a good week for everyone. Mm-hmm. I hope it was a good week for everyone too. Hector Jimenez, hello from Staten Island. NTC. What's NTC?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
Staten Island is in New York, isn't it?
I believe, unless there's another one in wherever NTC is. Mm. Well, we will find out. I'm sure you're gonna correct us. Rights W5, hello from Birmingham, UK. Good to see you, my friend. Jameson Keating, hey from Los Angeles. I've been traveling around the country in my midnight slub stretch salvage. Nice. Well, I hope they've gathered some international or national fades along the way. Mm-hmm. We've got Stu Fu for free. Hello from El Paso. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Hector writes NYC. All right, so corrected. Staten Island, New York. We got it. We've got an anonymous person. Howdy from the mountains of western North Carolina. Nice. Well, I hope you're doing well out there, Mr. Anonymous. Corey, right. Happy holidays, everyone. Checking in from Atlanta, Georgia, the home of Coca-Cola. If I'm not wrong,
interesting.
I believe Coca-Cola is from Atlanta, Georgia. Let us know, Corey. You would know if it is, in fact. If it's from there, I would imagine you would know. If it's not from there, then I don't know why you would know. But you might just know in general. Anyways, A Soul Refined says, hello, everyone. Nicholas Villepoux says, happy early Christmas. Happy early Christmas to you, too. And we've got the Black Buddha tuning in from Brooklyn, New York City. Merry Christmas, everybody. Chris Griffin, hello from Central Virginia, checking in with my Naked and Famous knit fleece sweat jean.
Oh, my God.
Rare jean.
That's
Rare
an old
jean.
one.
Welcome to the chat, Chris. Adam Hale Adventurers checking in from Cleveland, Ohio, rocking my 15-year anniversary. True, guys. Krampus could be the mascot. Krampus, the mascot of New Year's? I don't know. I feel...
What is it?
Krampus. I feel like that's like Bear Schnickel.
Oh.
That's what I think it's like. I don't know. I feel like we need a little... a cherub or something for the new year. You know, like Valentine's Day, he's got that little guy.
The Cupid?
Cupid
Yeah.
Sparrow. He hits you with Cupid Sparrow.
I'm pretty sure Ebisu is the New Year mascot in this country, at least.
Beer.
And to be fair, we will have the New Year's earlier than anybody.
That's true.
Except for, I think Australia has it early,
but they don't count. That
It's there in
said,
summer. Yeah.
I don't think everyone here knows what Ebisu is.
It's the guy you see on the beer logo.
So the guy on the beer can.
Yes, but he's like one of the 7 gods, and he brings like fortune,
He brings fortune.
I think.
Yeah. This guy.
It's that guy.
All right. So this guy right here, let's pull him up.
He's nice and happy.
Whoa, what's going on here? All right, hold on. Technical difficulties. Let's get that fixed. There we go. There he is. There's Ebisu. So he's got a big fish. He rides them, and he brings in the new year riding that fish. Mm-hmm. Sometimes he fights the fish.
And
it
you
seems.
notice his earlobes are humongous,
Okay,
and that's a sign of like a fortunate person.
I see. All
Yeah,
right.
So
Well,
if you have a big earlobe, that means you're a lucky person.
what if you stretch them out on your own? Does that count?
So when that happens, it gets like a skinny, long earlobes, whereas his is like
Plump.
really fat. I don't think you can do that.
All right. So you can't cheat it. It has to be original. Corey writes, yes, Coke is from Atlanta. There we go.
Oh,
Fun
nice.
fact for you all, in case you didn't know. Good. John Chan, morning from Spore. Been breaking in my new Camel Weird Guy Selvage.
Nice.
Very good. I don't know where Spore is, but you'll probably let us know. Unless it's short for Singapore. Spore.
Oh, that
Maybe.
sounds
Could be.
probable.
Probable. All right. Hey there, tuning in from Zurich, Switzerland, wearing my Firebirds. Welcome. You're right on time, as you would expect from the Swiss. Welcome to the chat, my friend. Felix writes, Buddha ears. That's right. Michael Martin, my earlobes are miniature. What does that mean?
I mean, you're not born with a lot of luck, but that doesn't mean that
You don't have any luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have less luck than a big fat earlobe.
Yeah, but you can make your own luck.
Yes. Yes, you can.
To be positive.
All right, that's true. John Chan, yes, Spore equals Singapore.
Nice.
Welcome to the chat, Singapore. Good to see you represented here. Michael Martin, got my Weird Guy Elephant 12s on. It's Friday afternoon here in Santa Cruz, California. The best part of clocking out is kicking off the weekend with Risa and Bahzad.
Oh.
That's what I always say.
Nice.
This is the best part of my weekend too. Doing this is the kickoff to our weekend, so we know. So this is the weekend for us. Chris Griffin writes, the Chinese New Year denim will bring some luck. That's true.
Sure.
There was a fun comment in. We just released the Spring Summer 23 video. Sorry, Spring Summer 24 video. So the Spring Summer 24 preview video, if you haven't checked that out, it is on the channel. Risa and I would go over the entire collection.
I don't think I'm in that video. Am I?
Yeah, you're in the end.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you're there.
It's been a while.
You're there.
It's the previous season.
Yeah, the previous season it was just me. But in the comment section, somebody wrote, back in 2012 or 14 or whatever it was, there was some interview with Brandon like making fun of dragons on jeans, and he's like, 2024 dragons on jeans.
Good point.
Yeah.
Good point.
Now we got dragons on
I feel
our
like
jeans.
that person was waiting to say that for years.
That's true. Interestingly enough, dragons on jeans, I think Brandon knew about dragons on jeans because I happen to own jeans with dragons on the back pockets.
You also see it in Japan, like here and there.
True, but I have to show you these jeans because, to be fair, I at the time I worked for another company. And these were the jeans I wore probably the most. And hold on, I gotta find them. And on the back pockets, they had these dragons embroidered on them. And I was like, that's the thing I don't like about them at all. But the jeans were fine. Hold on a second, I gotta find a better photo of it. Keep finding that same photo. I'm gonna find it, guys. You're gonna see it. You're gonna see some dragon pockets. That's an upside down picture of them. Come on. All right, I'm just going to have to default to that one bad photo there is. One day I got to go through all my old bad jeans.
You got to show it off.
I got to show it off.
Live stream.
Oh, that's not a bad photo. So there they are. So these jeans, I had this exact model. Boom. So you can see some intricate dragons right on those back pockets there. Really, I don't know why. No, and in fact, it wasn't like this fit was available in a bunch of different fabrics, but only select fabrics had, dragon pockets. Mm-hmm. I don't know why.
I mean, it kind of goes with the
aesthetic,
vibe.
maybe.
Yeah.
Not sure. Somebody was really thinking when they came up with that idea. Speaking of funny back or just the best back pockets, I'm not going to slander anyone. I'm only going to say these are the best back pockets, fancy back pockets. To be fair, our dragons on the jeans are not on the back pocket, but they're on the leather patch. But fancy pockets were the way jeans were sold. I'm sure it still happens in some areas,
some parts of the world,
but
still the main thing.
Boy, was this mainstream, everybody. Who remembers this stuff? Big S, big R's on your ace, big old shoehorns, this type of pocket. Mm-hmm. These were very popular. These were very expensive. Yeah. This was normal. This was perfectly acceptable.
Yeah.
But
and all those flaps.
Yeah, there was a lot of flaps. There was a lot of flaps, and then they started putting doilies on the back. Like these were women's jeans. Yeah. It just got ridiculous with the amount of stuff that they tried to stuff on a back pocket.
Yeah. And all the bedazzling of it.
Ooh, bedazzling was big. We bedazzled. I sold a lot of bedazzled back pocket jeans. I will tell you that much. I'm responsible for it. And at the time, I'm going to say it was the right thing to do.
I mean, you didn't make them.
I didn't make them, but I sure made a lot of money selling them because they were expensive. And to be fair, I'm going to be even more fair. I didn't even really have to sell them. They just sold themselves. Mm-hmm. People walked in and they're like, "You got the ones with the..." I'm like, "Right over here." You don't even finish your sentence. I know what you want. Mm-hmm. I got what you want. Let's do this right now. And those jeans walked themselves out the door most of the time. Very good time, very fun time in the Hollywood denim craze of the 2000s. If you're an OG, you might remember buying some. How do you feel about that? How do you remember?
Do you still have them?
Yeah, I really wonder where all of those jeans went.
Well, we know where they went.
No, I don't. I don't know where they went because there were millions of these jeans sold, and I don't really like. It's rare that I see somebody wearing those jeans. It's rare.
It is rare. I think it's all, donated to.
But I would see them at the thrift stores. I would see more of them at the thrift stores. Every now and then I see a couple here and there, but I feel like I would see so many piles of them. So are we just holding? I know they're all in my closet in my mom's house.
I mean, that's a lot of them, especially like expensive clothes. You feel like you can't throw them away or donate them, but you can't sell them really. Right.
Joy Decay writes, "Yeah, I was wearing Crew and whatever skinny jeans I could get in 2003." Right. Pending New Name says, "You see them in San Antonio, Texas all the time." Mm-hmm. All right, I'm coming to San Antonio. I got to see this.
Yeah, that's true. There are probably a lot of areas that are more, like maybe not the mainstream anymore, but like more of those.
They held on to that?
Yeah. Even in Japan, like there are areas and groups of people who are just still wearing them like full on. So.
Yeah. Michael Martin, I have 3 pairs of True Religion still. Back pocket flap energy. Yeah, I remember one time I was wearing a pair of True Religion jeans, and I was listening to the streetwear podcast that I highly respected, and they were making fun of True Religion jeans so bad on this. It was like a streetwear sneaker podcast, and I'm listening to this, and I'm like, my heart is breaking. It's breaking inside of me, and I'm just like, they're right. They're so right. And it was the ones, it was like the ones with like the really fat, big stitching. And they were making fun of those the most. And I was listening to it, and I was wearing them. And I'm like, okay, it's time. It's time. It's done. Yeah. It's done.
Sometimes you need to be told.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
That's true. Or someone needs to, put that mirror on you, and you're like, you're right. That is what I look like. And so that was it for me. Pedro writes, I missed the whole back pocket design era. Was too busy shredding on my skateboard. Well, there you go. Topher Cobra. So that podcast was an intervention. I think they made it. I think they recorded it specifically for me.
Or people like you.
Right. Yeah. They fixed a lot of people. What can I say? Invis Ian's sold my collection over the years via eBay in the early 2000s as he got into the raw wave. Never turned back.
Good for you.
Yeah, good move.
You were very quick.
Yeah. I have kept everything. That's not true. There were every now and then, and it's like, once every 10 years, I get in this mood where I'm like, I need to get rid of stuff. And then I just get rid of a handful of things. And right before we moved to Japan, I was getting rid of a bunch of stuff. Yeah. And I remember when I moved to Montreal, I had brought a bunch of things, and I was just like, no, let's just sell this online. Grailed and stuff just kind of started up. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh, this is a good opportunity for me to get rid of things. So I ended up getting rid of like a lot of designer stuff.
Those are easiest to sell.
Yeah. But I still held on to a lot. I have a lot of stuff. And our pile keeps growing. To be fair, I mean, sometimes it's interesting to look back and just remember those times. Sometimes Risa and I, we just buy stuff because, like, it might have an interesting button or zipper or something that we like, and we're like, all right, buy it. I need that for reference.
Yeah, we need a bigger house, though.
It's true. We need a...
I want, like, a house with either a basement or garage where, like, it just... all of our things that we own, that we want to continue to own, but we don't need access to all the time.
Right.
Can sit.
They can just have a room.
Yeah.
Joy Decay, I try to donate something for every new item I buy, but it's hard and getting harder. It can be. I would recommend, thinning out your wardrobe every now and then, and or just keeping your wardrobe tight. Like, realistically, if I wanted to, I could build a wardrobe that would be no bigger than this rack, and it would be easy. Easy.
Easy as heck.
Yeah. No, easy. The problem is I like stuff. Yeah. I like having things.
Yeah, that's everybody's problem. Yeah. It's hard to let go of something.
Yeah. But I'm saying for those people out there who might, maybe they're younger and just starting to build a wardrobe, you can absolutely build a wardrobe. The buy it for life people who are very, I'm going to be very conscious about what I'm purchasing. There's people who are, casual consumers and things like that. That's fine. But if you really want to, like, narrow down, like, okay, I'm going to optimize my life and buy just these items, you can absolutely do it with a 2 or 3 pair raw denim wardrobe for your jeans, a couple of t-shirts, a couple of flannels, and you're done. Like, if you're not an office worker kind of guy, you don't need a suit, you can easily have just less than 20-piece wardrobe, not including socks and underwear, of just high-end stuff that you can wear all the time.
Socks and underwear.
60?
You have to have 60 pairs of socks and underwear.
Yeah, you have to have 60 pairs. That's the way to do it. Bryce W5, would you ever do antique salvage with one back pocket and other old details? No, I don't think so. That kind of stuff is fascinating, but I don't think that kind of stuff really sells.
Yeah.
It's not a mover.
It's very particular. Yeah. And it's not, like, that's not the path that we want to go to, I think.
Yeah, it's for, because we do love raw denim, you love raw denim, and it's fun to look at the history and, you know, enjoy parts of the history. But for me, when you look at like a one pocket jean or a buckle back jean, like I'm like, I never want to wear those.
It's kind of like, you know, like a pocket watch or like a monocle.
Yeah.
It's like, it's interesting, but it's not something that you like wear in modern daily lives.
Yeah. We were at a watch store this week, and, you know, out of all the watches, they had everything from like, you know, cheap Casios to like, you know, luxury watches and everything. And they had just one little window of like a company that still made pocket watches. And they were expensive. And I'm like, who on earth is buying a pocket watch today? But you know, there's got to be a company out there doing it. But so they're the company. Mm-hmm. I just found it so fascinating. Like, unless it's a stopwatch, but even now, it's like you'd have a digital one.
Yeah, because
right?
Like you can't like with the
split seconds. Yeah. So I found it quite interesting, but it's like, yeah, I think looking back at like those one pockets or buckle backs maybe less so because at least, you know, they mostly look. Yeah, but you know, just in terms of like two back pockets, front pockets, like that design 90% of the way looks like modern jeans. Mm-hmm. If you look at like a one pocket jean,
right,
there's no belt loops.
Right.
There's, you know, there's overall buttons.
Yeah.
You know, one pocket on the back. Like it's like 50% of the way to like a modern pair of jeans. So it feels a little off.
Yeah.
So neat, but I don't think we would ever make one for like, you know, maybe if we ever made one out of curiosity, but I don't think we'd ever really produce them as a product. Okay. What do we got here? Sorry, there's a lot of conversation going on in the chat. Corey writes, part of growing up and finding your adult uniform is experimenting with different looks. Just live and learn, no regrets. It's true. Mm-hmm. You will, you know, unless you want to be super minimal, you will make mistakes. There will be things that you buy that you were excited for and you don't like. Mm-hmm. It happens. And sometimes those are the items that maybe you should sell. Maybe you should keep them and just, you know, remember your bad mistake. I certainly have a closet full of mistakes.
But it's like there are mistakes where it's like, oh, I thought I would wear this more and it's actually not comfortable. I don't wear it often. And also there's ones that are like, I loved this.
Yeah.
But I don't fit in it anymore, or like it's not my style anymore. Right. Like it's just those are not mistakes in my opinion. It was just like, you know, something that didn't last forever for you. It's
I remember one mistake I made, and it was buying these like, you know, motorcycle looking boots that went up to like, they looked like I was a Power Ranger or something. Like, you know, the boots kind of went up to my knees and they had like buckles on the side, and they had like, you know, they looked like, you know, giant motorcycle boots. And they were from Hugo Boss, I remember. And I remember seeing them in like magazines and stuff. And me and my buddy, we were out shopping. And we went to this store, and they had them, and they were on sale. They're like 50% off, and like regular price was like $6.95 or something. They had them for like $2.95 or something like that. And I'm like, man, those things are so cool. And my buddy's like, yeah, they're really cool. And he's like, I put them on and they fit, and I'm like, yeah, these I could wear these, right? He's like, yeah, absolutely. And I put them on. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy these. The sales guy was like, yeah, man, those are really cool. And so I go home, and I'm like, how on earth am I going to wear these things? Like, where am I going to wear these things? And I remember, like, putting them on and, like, tucking my jeans into the boot. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, I don't know. This looks... It's a little too much for me to be wearing on the bus, you know? And so I then put my jeans over it. And so I just had like these clunky, like, because they were huge, right? These just clunky beasts. And I'm like, yeah, I don't like the way this looks, you know, with my jeans on over top. Because I was wearing like these giant flared jeans too. anyways, I think I wore them to work once, and they've been in the box ever since, and they're still in my mom's basement. They're there.
All right.
Yeah,
well, next time we go.
Yeah, I'm like,
take it out.
Yeah, I remember the store had the return policy was you could basically return anything anytime. Mm-hmm. You could return anything anytime, and even then I was too embarrassed to bring them back. I was like, and I wore them, I mean, but I knew their policy was so open that, like, even if I had worn them or whatever, they were going to take them back.
Yeah, 50% off or whatever.
It didn't matter. They had a crazy return policy, and I was like,
you just don't want to admit
to
it.
I did not want to be like, I was wrong about these. Anyways, next time I'm at my mom's place, I'll try to dig them up, take a photo. Philip Edgezak writes, what's your favorite budget Casio? Just GW 5600. Hold on, I'll go get it. Just the basic classic.
He's really like increasingly getting into the watch world. I think this year he bought more watches than anything, to be honest. It's anything of like one single category. I think he bought less underwear than watches.
It's true. I've been on a watch buying binge.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the classic. Terry wears this one. And honestly, I was like, oh, Terry. I just kept seeing Terry with it every week, so I'm like, I had to get one of these. But then I found this one. It was a vintage one. It's from like '96, but same kind of idea, classic, G-Shock look. But it has like the golden screen. It has like the golden buttons too. And I just like that it's a little bit older. But yeah, this is a fun little G-Shock.
I think that we want I
gotta fix.
Yeah, this
the paint.
The paint of G-Shock. Mm-hmm. We can paint it in. That's a good project to get into.
Yeah. Clubber Online, you gotta watch that. The beauty of watches, especially like Casios and things like, to be fair, I'm starting here and these are like, $100 less. They're not very expensive. Like I'm looking at this and I'm also looking at the exact same watch in like the their high end, like Mr. G line.
Yeah.
And they have this same watch. It's not the same. I mean, it's, they have like a titanium case and everything like that. It's like $3,000. And I'm like, yeah.
I don't get that because it's hard to tell the difference. Mm. Oh, and like it's a digital watch. Like how much? Like okay, material cost. Okay, but it's like I don't get it. That I really don't get.
Hold on.
Somebody has to explain to me.
It's hard to explain. I don't know what it is. I just like this tool. To me, it's a tool on my wrist. And Casio G-Shock. I can't find it. You gotta keep them busy with the chat, so I don't bore them with just my.
All right. Somebody wants your boots.
Somebody wants my boots?
Yeah,
well,
Joey DK wants your boots. I'll buy them, he says.
Once I find them, I'll send you a message. I'll let you know.
Hopefully your shoe size are the same.
Right.
It's time for a Naked and Famous watch collab.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing a watch collab. Mm-hmm. But I think it just depends on the company. Like, number one, I don't have any ins in the watch world, really. Mm-hmm. So...
Well, our buddy Michael from Iron Snail must have some...
Yeah,
ins.
I'm sure he does. I guess I would have to ask him about that kind of stuff.
Well, if we, have an idea, maybe.
Right. This watch right here. This one, I think is pretty cool looking. But it's
you know what I also find it funny? This is it like a Super Mario looking brick?
Yeah, the price it's up there, right? And one thing, this one's really up there. And I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know why, aside from the material, now it is using premium material, I don't know what else is making the watch so expensive. I mean, I will have to do a little bit more research on that, but it is really expensive, this guy. But what I do like about it is that, to me, there's something interesting about high-end things that are low-key, right? Like, you know, that watch versus this watch, like, at first glance, a 10th glance, you wouldn't even know the difference. Like, but if you know, you know. Yeah. And, like, I know, and, like...
To be fair, though, like, I mean, it's like, if you don't see the logo and stuff, like, it's sometimes hard to tell the difference between Rolex and, you know...
anything else.
Yeah. They have the similar-looking watches.
Right. So, I like low-key stuff. And, like, my watch today, this is a Timex Ironman data link. This is from the 90s. This is in kind of an original smartwatch. You see that little thing there? That's a camera. And it's not a camera to take pictures with. It's a camera to transmit data from your computer to your watch. So, like, you can, like, keep notes and things like that. And the way you would transmit the data was this, you would, like, type, you know, your little memo into the software, and then the software, but you also have to use a CRT monitor because it doesn't work with LCDs. It would basically like flash a bunch of like lines and code on the screen, and this would pick that up. So it's like they didn't have QR codes or things like that back then, but this would pick up that data that you would show on the screen. So you'd hold up like your watch to the screen like this, and it would pick up that data, and then you'd have the data on the watch. And I used to have this watch when I was a kid in high school, and I used to keep math formulas and my cheat notes on my watch because it was easier to cheat that way on tests.
I think we talked about this. There was a movie about like cheating in Japan, like back in, I think, maybe late 90s, early 2000s. That was a great movie. I have to find it. It was a fun movie to watch because everything is about, like, you know, things like that, or, like, you know, how to hide tiny little papers into, like, whatever. And it was just very fun.
I wonder, do kids have to worry? Do kids have to...
I mean, how do you, like, not, like... Yeah, it's like, if you wear an... like Apple Watch or whatever, like you have access to the entire internet. Yeah. Like, how do you stop people from cheating?
Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe, I remember when in school, when they started to allow us cheat notes. Like, you know, they'd be like, oh yeah, you can have like a little piece of paper with your notes. And I'm like,
never happened to me.
Oh yeah, no. In like by mid-high school, that was a pretty common thing for tests.
In high school, in Japan, high school level math, you couldn't bring a calculator.
Oh my god!
So I remember like I was shocked because I was trying to get into college in the States. So like I took SATs. Yeah. And it's like I was shocked that you can bring in a calculator. It's like why on earth?
Right. No, it was. I think they just try to make things easier for the kids in the West.
Yeah, but also like it makes sense. You're like the simple math that you can do on the basic calculator isn't gonna like it might help you save few seconds, but it's not really gonna help you solve the problem, I guess. But
maybe
still, I don't know.
Unless you get a graphing calculator.
Yeah, well, that was a thing, right?
That was a thing. I remember my brother had one for school. I couldn't figure out how to use that thing for the life of me. I was not a very good mathematician. But that said, cheat notes on your watch. Yeah. That's the way to go. Oh yeah, Risa got a watch. Somebody's asking, where's Risa's watch?
Well, I have a couple lying around here.
Yeah.
Where's my diaper wash?
It's over in the other room.
Yeah. Actually. I'll bring it.
Yeah, Risa's gonna go grab one of her watches to show off a little bit of her watch collection. But yeah, I really got into watches this year. That's for sure. This is gonna get dangerous. Rice W5, right? I got a black F91W and an orange one also. An F108W, some pocket watches, and a mechanical stop watch. Right. Yeah. I love cheap Casios. I just love them. They're cheap and they work great. What can I say?
This is my old diver watch.
Pull it back a little bit. Yeah.
It was
old Seiko.
Yeah. It was my grandfather's. Changed the belt. It's just, it's very old school. And you know what I like semi-like is that like there's the
Japanese
day of
days.
day of the week is in Japanese, and it's kind of cool. It's a very old school. I don't think they do that in newer ones, even in Japan.
Which the Japanese dates?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did they?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not paying attention. Yeah. This also is, I find it to be very classy. Not really, I don't dress up so often, but when I do, it's like a dainty little watch. So, like, I don't know if it's a common saying or whatever, but my grandmother always said that, like, if you're a woman, if you're a young lady, you want to wear as small of a watch face as you can read it. Because as you get older, you can't, like, that's just kind of like a show off of your youthfulness.
I see.
How small you can wear your watch.
Right.
This one's pretty small. This one's even smaller.
Yeah. So that's a little tiny Seiko here as well.
Yeah, we found this at the thrift store for like
$7
$8
or something like that. It was cheap.
But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think it's pretty neat. It's a really fancy looking watch, and it was super cheap.
Yeah, and I can still read time.
Right. That's perfect. JC writes, the Grand Seiko Cat Surio Indigo is one of my grail watches as someone who loves denim. Well, guess what, JC?
Oh, yeah. This channel has become like a showing off what's in our house kind of show.
A little bit. I just bought this yesterday, the Grand Seiko Complete Book, because I'm trying to decide on which Grand Seiko Bahzad needs to buy. So just gotta get all the information about all the Grand Seikos.
And that's in English.
And it's in English. That was
which is really rare. That was.
I think they knew that there's enough foreign Grand Seiko fans that they just made the entire thing in both English and Japanese. So I'm very thankful for that. To the good people at Begin Magazine.
Big Man.
They did it. The Grand Seiko Complete Book. There's also a similar one for G-Shocks, which I'm trying to get that magazine. So, I want to learn more about what makes the more expensive G-Shocks fancy.
Yeah.
What's going on here?
And these are the people who know. It's like, if the font is like tiny bit off to the side, then whatever.
Oh, they're incredible. So, I want to add one of these to my collection. Another thing I like about Grand Seiko in general is its low-keyness. Like, I think, I'm not terribly afraid of... That's not true. I mean, I feel like if I had a tremendously expensive watch, I'd be afraid to wear it in certain circumstances. Like, you
don't want to wear like a pure gold Rolex watch.
Also, that's not me, number one. But number two, like if I'm somewhere, I feel like that is a very... I'm just making myself... I'm just like, hey, look, Target, right? I don't want to be that guy, but I would like to have something nice, and maybe someone sees a Seiko and they're just like, oh, whatever, right? I'm looking for big names, and they don't really quite understand. So I like the low keyness of a Grand Seiko. It's kind of like I don't know, Japan does low key well. It's kind of like the high end G-Shocks, but it's like in Japan, there's an equivalent to Rolls-Royce here, which Toyota has a line of vehicles called Century, and that's basically their version of Rolls-Royce. And if you saw it, it just kind of looks like a fancy sedan, and it's just so Japanese. It's just like, this is not in your face. If you know, you know. But if you don't know, you don't know, and that's fine.
Yeah, right? I mean, flashiness is not... It's a virtue to be modest in this country.
Right.
So.
So I enjoy that. I enjoy the modesty of something like this Japanese luxury. Low key luxury. All right. So a lot of watch fans I see here in the chat. That's for sure. Juan Puedo writes, not into watches, but maybe one day I will buy one, but I'm more into buying glasses since I really don't have the greatest vision. But what I love is Japanese frames, like brands like Matsuda. Yeah. There's another brand that it really doesn't get talked about a lot. I'm shutting up brands today. I don't know why. We'll talk about raw denim at some point. But there's a brand called Effector. And these are my favorite glasses. And they make some really, really cool frames. So if you're into glasses, check them out. It's called Effector, made in Japan, and they have a lot of cool frames. They're really neat. I mean, they're all vintage and retro style inspired, thick frames, really fun stuff. So if you like glasses, check them out. Look at how handsome some of those. Where did that picture come from? There you go. Look how cool these guys look. These are some cool dudes.
I should go glasses shopping. I don't mind the glasses.
Yeah.
Glasses.
Which ones? I have a pair. Where are they? Anyhow, they're here. They're on the website somewhere. But I'm a big fan of these, so check them out if you can. And the prices aren't terrible. I'll tell you that. I have these ones, this exact model. You know, they're in the realm, but they're not like $1,000. You know, I've seen some that are just, some glasses are crazy priced. Not for this guy. Not for this guy. Rice W5 writes, my smallest is a Citizen automatic 26mm traditional lower limit of men's sizes. My biggest analog digital watch is 60mm, including the crown. I like to mix up sizes so they all feel okay. I can't wear, well, that's not true. I do have some chunky watches, but yeah, I prefer a smaller watch. Something that like doesn't really exceed the size of my wrist. I don't have giant wrists. But yeah. All right. Devin Hurt, I've been looking at Effector glasses, but it's not the easiest to find in Canada. That's true. It might be an import thing, or come and visit Japan. Come and visit Japan, buy them here, buy them duty free. You bring your passport. That's another thing about Japan that's interesting. You know, here when you shop, most stores do duty free for you if you're a tourist. So you just bring your passport around, and usually you have to spend over $50, but that's, you know, what you're going to spend on almost anything anyways, and they'll just not charge you the tax, and they'll like staple like this little piece of paper in your passport, and that's it.
Okay, it's another glasses recommendation. ADSR. I really like them. They're a lot more affordable, and they're very they're made in Japan. They're actually like they're made for like Asian faces. So like it does like fit me better than, you know, Western.
Yeah, because sometimes this part it doesn't fit a lot of people.
Right, like we have a lower bridge here, so it'll get stuck in high cheekbones. Yeah, like I have a problem with that, so it's good. But I mean, if
ADSR.
They're very cool.
Risa has some of their sunglasses, a bunch of them. They're really nice,
and they're like $150 to $200, and it's all made in Japan, so it's a very good value. I think.
Absolutely. So there you have it. Check out Effector and ADSR if you're looking for some glasses. What do we got here? Look at that. Sunglasses at night. That's a cool person right there. There you go. Okay, Rice W5. I get my reading glasses from places like Savers or Poundland. Well, that works too. No shame in that game. Whatever fits the bill. Arif Jivan writes, Hi, from Chicago. Welcome. Just tuning in. Watch of choice, JLC Classic Reverso with a plain back. I'm a fan of Jacques Marie Mage glasses too. All right. Well, thank you for the recommendation, my friend. I'm going to have to check those out. Those are two brands that I'm not aware of. Okay. What do we got here? Vance Edwards, you should look into Randolph Engineering Shades. Off topic. Also, you have to decide which big SUV you plan on pulling the trigger on. Toyota. Vance Edwards, did we tell you the story of our...
I don't know if we did. We told this story to, everybody, but not sure if we talked about it here.
Right. So Risa and I, we were trying to get...
I think we did.
We wanted to get a car, and Toyota... This is the last topic before we get into some deep denim conversations, I promise you. So there's a Toyota Land Cruiser 70. So this is a vintage-inspired Land Cruiser, so a Toyota car that it's based on like a 1970s body, but they're doing it in a modern, with some, not a lot, but some modern upgrades.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's necessarily 70s. The 70 come from like the original model series that they had, and they were like way more like old school. And from here they went towards like more like city, like still 4x4, still you can do a little bit of off-roading.
Yeah.
But like super off-roading and like a city, tough car.
Yeah.
And this is like basically where it separated. So like a lot of people really like this car, like a real off-roader. We're not one of those people, but we like the aesthetics. Yeah, because people don't make cars like these anymore. They just look, all the SUVs and stuff, they look the same. And so we really like this car. Yeah. We wanted to get it. But a lot of people like this car. A lot of people wanted to get them.
And it turns out that for the next 3 years, they're only making 300 of these.
No, that's not true.
What's true?
That's actually not true.
Okay, then what is true?
I've learned that they're like, like the projection is that they're going to have like maybe like a 2,400 in a year or something like that. Or like, I've read different numbers, but... There's like, in the thousands, but at least, but there are like so many Toyota dealerships in this country, right? And each one was going to get like maybe 2. Some 1, some, 4 or 5, but like average out to be like 3 a dealership. And, surprisingly, a lot of people are in the market for, 4x4s, I guess. And so it turns out like that spot was very hard to get in, especially because we didn't have a relationship with any dealership. And so but that's just for like the next 3 years. So they were taking orders for the next 3 years of production. So the first people already got the cars, but like, people who got the rights to buy, like who already wrote the order also might have to wait 3 years. And within that, we were like, we're going to try. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. So we went to Toyota and spec'd out our car and spent 2 hours, dealing with the guy. And he gave us a little toy Land Cruiser on our way out, which was nice. And then he's like, we'll give you a call in a week and let you know if you can buy one. And then he called us not even a week later, but a couple days later.
Well, to be fair, I called him for something, and he is like, oh, by the way, you are not going to get it.
We're not going to take your money. So there's none of these are going to be available for at least 3 years. So now we're like, okay, what else do we get? So we're not sure because we've never had a car, and it might be time. We're old enough. I think we're old enough to have a car now.
To be fair, I had a car before, but
you had a car when you were in California.
Yeah. Well, here it's more a luxury. There it was a necessity.
Yeah.
But we rent cars off the car sharing service.
Yeah.
But there's limitation with that. We can't put cats in them because
Japan doesn't like that.
Yeah.
In Montreal, whenever we would get the little car rental things, they could care less what you put in that thing.
They could care less if you drove into a ditch. Like they're such in bad conditions. Like every time I rode, because it was a what do you call it? Smart cars,
right?
Too. Like it's tiny little cars, and you can go on the freeway, but as soon as you go onto a freeway, I was just afraid.
Yeah, we're gonna die. Yeah. So anyhow. We don't know what to do now because that car is the one that we want. There
are old ones that are on the market, but
they cost almost the same as the new one,
and they have 200,000 miles or kilometers on it.
Yeah.
So it's
tough because we just like the aesthetic, and then there's another model. There's the 250. Which has been announced, but it hasn't been announced for release. And this the 70 was only going to be available in Japan, Australia, and Middle East, not in North America. The 250, I think, is going out globally, and I think this is going to be more of a general release. So it's this chunky looking boy over here. That's the 70. That's the 250, and then that's the 300. That's
and the one on the left, the yellow one, is also 250. 250 has two different faces. One with the round eyes, and then the other with the
a horizontal ones.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure. This is fine, but I really prefer the old school rugged aesthetic as this car. So
sure.
What can you do? I guess we're gonna have to wait 3 years.
But even still, who knows?
Yeah, that's true. We're just gonna have to walk. We're just gonna have to walk around more walking.
So I was thinking the other day, I was like, I should probably just pop in once a month and hey, is there any cancellations? Because there's gotta be cancellations if you're if you make people wait for 3 years for a new car.
That's true, right?
Things change,
or they just buy another car, right? Mm-hmm. And I mean, we do have our $150 down on that Cybertruck, which
that's never gonna come.
I'm sure we're gonna get it any day now. So we'll see. Terrence is here for Car Talk. We appreciate it. Terry will help us in the right way.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's tough. It's tough because there's too many cars that look alike, and
I don't like any of them.
Yeah, I really only like old looking cars.
And I feel I'm abused enough to be when there's a 250. 250 looks not bad.
Yeah.
And just because everything else is just so bad for a while, or not bad as in bad in my opinion, it wasn't great for my taste. That you see something that are remotely a little bit better, and I'm oh, okay, maybe this is what I have to get.
Right.
I just feel it's so a abused mentality,
Yeah, I just want a car.
I just want a cool looking car.
Yeah, we can pay for it. It's fine.
Yeah.
What can I say? Corey writes Suzuki Jimny.
Yes.
It's something to consider because they're really cheap. And they're
not they're good price, and you can do some customizations. It's a very common thing to do. So even though they're not perfect looking, I still kind of like it.
Yeah, they're rugged enough looking in a way. They have these in the Middle East, and they have them here in Japan. They don't sell them in North America, which I think is kind of cool. Just
no, they do. I think they do Sierra. They don't do Jimny. So Jimny is the a K category in Japan. So that's not allowed in America. I think it's just too small. And then I think Jimny Sierra is a regular car category here, and I think they do sell in other countries. I don't know about America. But they're coming out with a 5-door version of this in India. So I think they're gonna bring that over to Japan too.
Right.
So it's gonna be a little bit longer.
Yeah.
But still like compact compared to like, Jeep or G-Wagon or something.
Right. Yeah, a G-Wagon eats this car for lunch. Like that's the G-Wagon, it lives on a steady diet of Jimneys.
But we've seen like a Jimny that's dressed up. I think it was even a smaller Jimny that dressed up, like the customized to look like G-Wagon.
Yeah.
And like we were walking one day and then we saw it in the parking lot. It's like, what is this? And it even had like a
Mercedes.
Yeah. It's like, how is that?
Yeah, why would you do that? Anyhow, those are our car conundrums right now. But let's get into some raw denim talk, because that's what you all really tuned in for, isn't it? Or is it just all of our ranting as well? Let us know by hitting the like button. If you like raw denim, hit the like button. Or if you like our rants, hit the like button.
Then we
as
can't
well.
tell.
Doesn't matter. We want you to hit the like button regardless. But let's jump into some raw denim questions, because we saw a good one. EEP 215, serious question. It is a serious question. What fit is most close to the 501? Straight but slim. Now, this is a loaded question that we get
all the time.
Every single day. Tate and Yoko, Naked Famous, we get that customer service question. And the answer is, there is no such thing as a 501.
Well, like which 501?
Yeah.
And even if you tell us what years from, it's hard for us to know.
That number doesn't mean all that much. That jean has seen so many iterations over the years. Even if you go and you look at, the LVC line, they're like, oh, hey, we have the 501 from this year, and we have the 501 from that year, and we have the 501 from this year, and we have the 501 from that year. So it doesn't mean a whole lot. Depending on the fabrication, it's going to fit differently. The weight of the fabric, it's going to fit differently. So that being said, the 501, generally speaking, is a classic fit tapered leg, right? It's a little bit wider in the thigh, and it gradually tapers to the bottom. The bottom is not too wide, it's not too narrow, but it does have a slight taper. If you're looking for something like that from us, we have a jean called the Weird Guy. That's an everybody fit, a little bit more room in the seat thigh area, and a gradual taper all the way down. It is not an aggressive taper. It is not too tight around your ankles. It fits over boots. It works with sneakers. It is the everybody fit. So that is my recommendation. Whenever somebody says, oh, what fits most like the 501? I do try to do that explanation of, it's hard to pinpoint it, because, there's so many options in that realm. But if you're looking for a classic tapered leg, you want the Weird Guy. That's the one you want to go with.
But if you believe what you want is the straight leg, I would go with True Guy. True Guy is more of a true straight.
Yeah.
It does have wider leg opening than Weird Guy.
Yeah. It technically does taper. From the knee down, it technically tapers slightly, but it is
more of a straight fit.
It's more of a straight fit. Yeah. So there you go. TH writes, why don't Naked Famous Denim jackets have waist buttons? Good question. They used to have waist buttons. We used to have these little waist buttons on the back of the jacket where you can adjust the notch. We'd have a little notch. You could adjust it, make the waist a little bit more tight. We found that nobody used those, so we removed them. It was just a detail that was even nowadays. I mean, we have all kinds of denim jackets. I've never used that.
Yeah.
I've never used it.
MRJ jackets have them still. But, so that was kind of when, we were changing the denim jacket fit. We were adding the side hand pockets. And that was going to add a lot to the cost. Yeah. And, we were trying to figure out maybe a little bit of a way to, remove that the extra thing that costs money too, right. So that like the price change is not too aggressive. The main reason was that nobody cared, but it was a little bonus in that sense.
Right. Yeah. But yeah, that's why they're not there. It's just they're not used. It saves us a little bit on the production side, so that when we add better details like the side pockets, it can help balance out the cost difference. So there you go. The pockets did add quite a bit of cost when we added them, but I think people were happy that they were added.
It's worth it, because now you have a place to put your hands in.
Yeah. Joey Decay writes, I was wondering why there's a size difference on the jeans you make in the same fit. Why is the tag size 30 a 31-inch waist in some jeans, but on a Snowy, a tag 30 was a 33.5? What determines this? There's a lot of factors, and it's not just us. I'm going to say that this is an industry-wide thing. The only reason why you notice it from us is because we measure every garment, right? We don't just say the weird guy fits, this is the measurements of the weird guy. No, we measure each and every garment. So the reason why is for many reasons. One, fabric type. So if it's a stretch fabric, it's a heavyweight fabric. If it's a lighter weight fabric, there's going to be some variance there. Everything's cut by hand. Everything's made by hand. This is not like precision steel, cutting with a machine. This is somebody doing work by hand. So there's going to be variances from one production lot to another production lot. Sometimes even in terms of when the fabric is being cut, the cutter puts the fabric down on the table, and usually what they'll do is they'll leave it overnight for the fabric to settle and rest. Sometimes they don't leave it out all night. Sometimes they plot it and they let it sit for a few hours before they do the cut or whatever. And so even the amount that the fabric settles down can affect things. Sometimes the humidity in the room can affect how the denim affect how the denim is cut, right? Maybe if there's a lot of moisture in the room, like in the summertime, the denim might be a little bit more plump. If there's less moisture, like in the winter, it's not as plump. Finishing processes, when you're steaming the denim, the denim is steamed, it's pressed at the end. Some denim has a different shrink rate than another denim. So just the steam alone can make a jean compress a little bit because it's really hot. So all of these things put together make it such that each and every jean is going to have some variance. Now, some variances are a little bit bigger than others, but that's why we put out the measurement guides. Yeah. And I know it's annoying. And I wish, every time you bought a 32, it could be the exact same every time. But that's not the reality of this kind of production.
Yeah, and also it will fit differently. So even if it's like exactly same measurements, it's hard sometimes to kind of get how it's gonna feel on you too. So and that's why if our guarantee is that if it's the past the tolerance of what we show on the measurement guide, then we would take it as a defect. We would take it back for free. We're gonna take responsibility on that, but it just does happen, and we're very we try to be as upfront as possible. And again, I think it's not cool when mostly online store especially does have a generic size guide. It's just how are you supposed to know?
Yeah. We work with online retailers that have generic size guides, and every now and then, I remember a couple months ago we had one retailer we were working with, and they said, we have this whole initiative, we're going to try and get people better information with the sizing. Can you please send us the size information for the fits of your jeans? And I'm like, no. It's not a fit thing. It's a garment thing. I can give you the measurements for each garment, but if you want a generic size guide for the jeans, that's where you're going to have problems. And I tried to explain this to them, and they were just not interested in that level of complexity.
Right.
And so they just have generic size guides for our jeans. And they have generic size guides for every product that they have on their website. And so instead of dealing with, selling the customer the right thing the first time, they're just like, oh, well, free shipping, free returns. We're just gonna deal with things that way. And then ultimately what happens is, when you're working with an online retailer like that, they're like, oh, your margin, your return rate, really high. I'm like, yeah, but your return rate, as a company, your return rate is really high because everybody uses you as like a free closet delivery, free try-on service, right? Instead of educating the customer and showing them how to make the purchases properly. And I'm going to say that's what has led to the success of Tate and Yoko and Naked Famous Denim NYC and shops like us, like the Blue Owls, like the people who will take the time to do the measurements, put them on the website, show the customers how to use this information so that they get the right fit the first time. And in fact, it's the best way to go about this whole thing.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not a perfect way.
Yeah.
We understand that. But it is the best way. Like, we've been struggling with this for a long time. Yeah. Like, there were days that nobody bought jeans online. So, coming from that, like, we've tried every other way. And this is definitely, we can be confident this is the way to do it.
Our return rate, is low. Like, by industry standards, it's very low. It's less than 10%. So less than 1 in 10 jeans, somebody gets the wrong size. It happens, but I've dealt with online retailers and our return rate's about 50%. Like 50%. Do you know what the manpower you need to have to just deal with your returns? Just to deal with your returns, it's crazy. You're losing all your profit. And then, of course, when they're not profitable with your product, it's our fault, right? I'm like, well, I can't be responsible for that. And then, I talk to you guys all about how they try to recoup the costs by telling us that they need us to cut them a check for their lost margin, or else they're not going to write an order again. And it just becomes this, dirty little game that you have to play with large retailers, which is why you're seeing less and less brands like us at large retailers, because we don't need to play those games anymore. Yeah. We've captured the audience. If you want to buy raw denim jeans, there's a couple of great stores around the world that have most of the business. And that's why you're not going to find products like us at a large department store. You're going to find the stretchy, stretchy jeans. Yeah,
stretch jeans will allow you to fit into it, even if it's a little too small.
Yeah.
And that's why they're so popular. It's just, it doesn't matter what, and vanity sizing. Yeah. Like, those two are very much rooted in
return rates.
Yeah.
No question about it.
Avoiding returns.
Yeah. So that's what's going on in that world. We don't deal with that. We try to get you the right information. Sometimes we get it wrong. Maybe we measured wrong. We're gonna deal with those problems with you. No problem.
Yeah.
And if you got it wrong, we're gonna help you with the exchange, right? Yeah. We're gonna help you get the right size the next time. You only have to make that mistake one time with us. After that, we're going to show you how it's done. Maybe you're going to some people get a little upset by it. I always wear a size 32. Why am I not a 32 in your jeans? I'm like, well, this, that, and the other reason. Fine, right? It's okay. We know that, that you gotta, people's expectations can be different from person to person, but we're always going to try our best to give you the correct info and get you on track. Now, I don't want to get into the negatives of not getting on track, but I'm just, I'm going to throw it out there, just because it's always fun rant time when you can dunk on the people who are not nice to you. Yeah, don't be not nice in the. Every now and then I say it, but. Last week, I say it every week. Every week I got to bring up a not nice person. But yeah, I saw there was a not nice person, a very not nice person we were dealing with on the customer service side of things. And immediately. So when you try to do an exchange with Tate and Yoko, what you have to do is, let's go through the motions here so that you know what to do. So let me just bring up tateandyoko.com. So here you go to the website and you're like, oh no, the jeans I got, they don't fit. Maybe you're like, I didn't like these as much as I liked them. I thought I would like them. Whatever your reason, you can exchange them with us. And now it's not going to be a straight exchange, and we'll get into that in a second. But what you're going to do is you're going to go right here and click that little returns button. Okay, we explain what's going on. We don't offer refunds. And when items are returned, they're returned for store credit in the form of a gift card. And the reason why that happens is some people are like, why can't you just exchange it for me? I'm like, because when you do an exchange at a store, they're actually doing this, but they're doing it all in one step. But because it's an online store, it doesn't quite happen the same way, right? Basically, when you go to a store, you bring your jeans, you want to bring them back, no problem. They hit the little return button on their computer, and in the system, you've got a credit. And now when you have that other pair of jeans that you want to buy, they scan the other item, and that credit automatically gets used on that item. So it's one full swoop. But because we're not in person and we have to do this online with you, it's not a not so swooshy like that. Mm-hmm. We get the jeans back, we scan them, approved, then we issue you a gift card, and then you use that gift card, which is a credit, to buy your next pair of jeans, right? But so anyhow, you go through that, you scroll down, request a return, and here you're gonna put in your order number and then your email. So the order number that you got, the email that you placed the order with, and then you're gonna select the reason. And then on our back end, what happens is we see that, hey, there's a return request. Let's see what the issue is with the return. And like, because we have a list of returns, then that way we can also study why things are being returned, and adjust our business that way. The return is approved, and then you're going to get an email saying you can send the jeans back, which you can, or you can buy a return label from us. And we offer return labels at a price of, I think, $15.
For US.
For US. For US, it might be different for Europe, but we offer... some people are like, oh, well, you guys charge for returns. We don't charge you for returns. What we're doing is we're giving you our shipping rate so that you can take advantage of our discount when you return that item. So some people are like, free returns. We're not in that world, okay? That's not our world. Like, we are going to cover the shipping for returns. If it's our fault, if we did something wrong, we'll cover the shipping for a return. But if you bought the wrong item, it's on you to return the item, just like it is if you went to the store, if you went to the department store, you went to Nordstrom, you bought something, you took it home, you didn't like it, Nordstrom's not going to pay for your cab to go back to the store to bring it for you. It's on you to bring it back to the store. So this is the same thing, right? So you can send it with USPS, you can send it with UPS, you can send it with FedEx if you want, but it's not going to be cheaper than our return labels. Our return labels take advantage of our thousands and thousands of packages we send every year. We've negotiated rates with our shipping carriers, so our price is the cheapest.
Yeah, and just as a side note, inside baseball kind of talk, it's like when we our return management system allows us to issue a free automated return labels so that you don't have to deal with us. But then you're gonna have to use a courier that we don't have a very good return rate from. So you would it will calculate the return shipping rate automatically using our rate, but our rate is not that great. So it will be way more than $15. It will be it will be much higher for everybody, and we can do Europe, so that's downside number two. But majority of our returns are coming from US or Canada, so we could make that away and then eliminate our intervention of us having to manually make return labels. But we just figured that we want to offer the cheapest return rate possible for our customers. So we are willing to do that like manual work and just, have you guys, pay a portion of the return shipping fees. That way, like it's kind of like, we have to do a little bit of extra work, but you end up getting a better price for return shipping. And also, like, there are sometimes like areas in certain countries that are like very
remote.
And so those guys won't be punished. Like we would have to cover that change, but the increase. But at the same time, for us, it's a little bit easier to just balance it out from, because in average it's going to come down. So it's like at the end of the day, we are, we can make the exchanges the cheapest possible for you guys. And so it's not like we're just being mean. Like we made the business's decision to subsidize the return shipping and also do the manual work so that you can get a cheaper rate. But at the same time, we can't do it all for free because that's going to cost us a ton. And then eventually, like as a business, we have to charge more.
Right. So, another reason why we do the return labels, we offer the return labels for you with our discount is because before we didn't offer any kind of situation like that. It was really just on you to return the package back to Canada. And so with that, there was all kinds of problems because, somebody would send the package with a full value insured and they're like, well, I'm returning 2 pairs of jeans and it's $70 to ship that to Canada because they got the full insurance. They got the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
And because you're not a high shipper like we are, you don't have you don't ship a ton of packages. There's no discounts for you, right? When you're in the world of like business shipping, you get when you've got volume, you've got discounts. So we wanted to eliminate that headache for so many people. And like Risa said, we could automate the shipping label process, but it would actually end up costing you more. So we do it manually, so you get the best price. So once we get that return request, we approve it or we deny it. Maybe sometimes it gets denied for whatever reason.
If it's hemmed,
if it's been altered, it's not going to be eligible. But if it's an eligible return, what happens next is we send you a return instructions and then also a link to buy a return label if you want to take advantage of our return labels. Some people maybe they have a business, they have their own shipping situation, they can send the item back themselves, whatever. That's not really an issue. But we offer that shipping label to you, and then we send that to you in a couple of days. What we say is, usually within 3 days. So this goes back to my bad boy topic is, we say that we'll send you that label within 3 days, business days. That doesn't mean 3 days. So if you buy it on a Thursday, and you're yelling at us on Sunday with expletives, like you've robbed me, you're stolen from me, you don't want to accept returns, yada yada yada. Just pump the brakes.
Yeah.
Pump when you're writing the F word down in an email to somebody who you're asking for help. Just pump the brakes and be like, hey, I wouldn't talk to anybody like this in real life, or you would, and you risk getting punched in the mouth. Right? Now,
I also think of the day of the week. Like we do it. Our office is closed on Saturday and Sunday. We have a store, but that's store.
Yeah. And if you're writing an email using the F word on Sunday, on God's day, just consider the bad choices that you're making at that moment. Okay? It's the wrong thing to do. If you need to yell at someone, I don't know. There's services for that. I think there's ladies that you can, go and they'll whip you and you could probably yell at them a little bit. Whatever it is. You know what? Do it in whatever you like to do it in the privacy of your own home or in their, dominatrix situation. But we're not that, right? We're not your whipping boy. Mm-hmm. And so when you start yelling at us for not doing anything wrong just because you have an inability to read or you have a hot temper, my suggestion is to just, before you hit send, remove the expletives. Just take them out. Just anytime you use the F word, just write sugar. What the sugar is going on with you mother sugarers? In fact, I would take that much more seriously. Like, I'll help that guy a little better. Be like, a mother sugarer. I'm like, all right, this guy's candy coating it.
At least you restract it yourself.
Yeah. So,
but yeah, it's like, yeah, just be reasonable.
Yeah.
And like, we do put, like, I know that like the return shipping label purchasing is just, it's not a conventional way to handle things like this. And like, there's a lot of words on that page, and I know that nobody reads them, but we put it in there for a reason, so we don't get you like thinking that like that it's gonna come automatically or it's gonna come instantly. It's just like, we try our best to explain it. So if it was hard to read, I understand, but like just like understand our point of view too. Like, we're trying to put all the information available. I know it's complicated, but we're trying to make this a most economical process, not the most efficient, but most economical process for you guys. And it's just like, it's like we are doing the right things. We explain everything. We put it, all clear. But when you say something negative about this, like, it does hurt us. Yeah. Like, it's just.
I also sometimes I'm like, how did this person look? I know there's words to read, right? I get it. There's a whole section on how the returns work, and I know it's going to take a third grade level reading and maybe 3 or 4 minutes of your time. I know that's a lot to ask for some people. For some people, it's a lot. Yeah. I get it. No, I get it. But how did you also end up with $200 to buy jeans? That's where I'm trying to figure out how good is society? There's a lot of like negativity about society in the world today. But like, someone with a below sub third grade reading level who has the patience of, I'm insulting newts at this point. Sorry to all the newts. What is a newt? It's like a little bubbly looking creature. Oh. It's like a lizard, right? Sorry to all the newt fans out there. So with the patience of, I don't know, something that is known for not having patience, low reading ability or no reading ability, no patience, rich, has $200 for jeans. This, we have to say, thanks to whomever you pray to, or you don't pray to, the universe, the aliens, whatever it is, thank you for allowing this person to not have shriveled away and, become dust. We've done such a good thing in the world that even this person is functioning.
I think you're a little harsh on them. Like, I understand. We're all used to, like, skimming through
No, I'm not being harsh on him. I'm saying what a wonderful world we live in that you...
Yeah, but it is, like, I understand some things that you don't read. Like, if there's too many words, you feel like you know what's going on, so you don't read it. Like, I'm guilty of that sometimes.
But I wouldn't take it out on someone.
Exactly. That's my point.
Like, if I read a return policy after I bought something, and I'm like, oh, that's my fault, I wouldn't then insult the mother of the person who I'm emailing, I don't even know. I would not do that, right? But we live in a world where you can do that, and yet you're also rich enough to buy luxury jeans. It is a wonderful world that we've created for the weakest among us, that they can survive. And I think that we've done so good. We're such a good society that even these people who've grown up, don't know how to read, don't don't care to read, don't care about instruction, don't care about rules. Just they can also thrive. Before they wouldn't, they wouldn't. But now we've constructed this society that they can, and to heck with reading. I still think you should learn how to read, though.
BD has a good idea.
All right.
Hey, how about a snowy cat appearance to cleanse the internet? And I would love to make that happen, but they do not listen to me.
The Curious Sailor writes, I'm like watching MSNBC Rachel Maddow. I love it. There you go. Me and Rachel Maddow, we're the same. They should hire me over there. I'll rant about all kinds of things. You got it. Rice W5, burger joint called Mother Truckers. There is a comic book called Mother Trucker. Shout out to Andy Belanger, one of our talented artists that we like to work with over at Naked Famous Denim, does some awesome pocket flashes for us. He has a comic book called Mother Trucker. And if you like comic books and you like wrestling, it's intergalactic wrestling, and it's fantastic. You should check it out. I'm gonna bring it up to give our friend Andy a big old shout out here. And it's a little it's got a little spice on it, if you know what I mean. But you can check it out here. Mother Trucker, Animal Bob Anger. That's his professional wrestling name. He's Andy to us and Bob Anger, and he's teamed up with Sexy Eddie, and they make up the Sexy Beasts at ICW Wrestling in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So yeah, you can check it out on the internet. There she goes. Click me to check out the goods. Let's check out the goods right here. Read Mother Trucker #1 free for a limited time only. So check it out.
Free.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah, there's some spicy photos and drawings too. So if you like that, or if you like hot wrestling action, which you know I do, it's got it all right here. So check it out. Mother Trucker. Not sponsored. Just good people. Sponsoring good people for free. Okay. Electric Bamboo writes, now that I know he drew that Elvira, you see more respect. Yeah, he's also working on Michael for us. Michael Myers for next Halloween's Halloween Horror Edition Gene. We've got Michael Myers in the pipeline, and he's working on the artwork for us right now. Okay. What do we got here? BD writes, Mother Trucker times Naked Famous Denim collab and watch the internet go unhinged when they see that patch. Maybe. That's
like a little...
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, there were definitely some responses to the Rockin Jelly Bean artwork. But, I have to say that all the other ones that we've ever done, never any issue. Even was it last week's episode of This Week at Tate and Yoko? Vincent was showing off, the Belle Provence patch, which I think is way more raunchy, if you ask me.
No, but I get it. We talked about this extensively a couple weeks ago. But it's just the scene. I get it. I totally get it. It's just that it was a lot more people were offended by that, which was it was a little bit of a surprise to us.
Definitely. But anyways, would people go on fire? I don't know. I can't predict the internet. It's tough. But yeah. Anyways, that's an idea. Jordan writes, any Godzilla jeans news? No news other than I've sent them an email. I have a friend of a friend. No, my friend is friends with someone who works there. And that's all I've managed to achieve at this point. So we'll see what can happen.
They're getting a lot of inquiries now.
Yeah, it's, right. There's that new movie, and so I'm sure they're getting bombarded by it. But I'm like, I'm like, oh, I'm a lifelong Godzilla fan, and I'm like, I'm sure he's hearing this from everybody. But I am. Like, I'm not new to this game.
Oh no.
What's oh no?
Pedro says, I saw the 15th anniversary Jelly Bean poster on eBay already for $300. I guess that was.
Did it sell? That's the question. Did it sell? To be fair, it's bound to ends up on eBay.
Yeah.
Mind you, any kind of questionable looking orders, we canceled them. Right?
Canceled the one that was.
There was one that was like
100% gonna be.
Yeah.
Resold.
Yeah, we canceled it real good.
Yeah.
And you know how we handled it? We shipped everybody's orders and then canceled his last. Just so he felt like maybe there's a chance I'm going to get this. Mm-hmm. And there wasn't.
And I checked, I checked the emails and made sure that he wasn't like...
Yeah.
Yeah. I think he was a little upset, but,
Hey, don't try to be that person, and it won't be an issue. But you were that kind of person, and then it became an issue. So,
I mean, it's just like that was obvious. Like, I'm sure there are people who bought like one, like regular people.
Yeah, there are some people who bought one who are like
who were gonna resell.
Right.
Sure, but.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe it's sold because I don't see it on eBay right now. Hold on, let me check the sold listings. But it's all in Japanese for me, so that's not helpful.
Go up.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wait, no, that's not it.
Why is it in Japanese for me? I didn't want it in Japanese, and they give it to me in Japanese.
Click on that.
It's just too much to load here.
No, not that, but like the earth mark.
I clicked on the earth mark.
No, you clicked on the words. See?
Okay, now we're in English mode, and I'm just trying to find show only sold items. Okay, let's see what we got here. Did any of them sell? I don't see any. No. So if someone had it on the eBay, I don't see it. Maybe they took it down because I didn't see any listings, and I don't see. There's an old pair of the jeans. There's an old pair of our Naked and Famous Big John collaboration jeans. Somebody wants too much money for that.
Cool.
That's sold. Wow.
What?
Wowie zowie. That's sold. Holy cow. Because somebody also sold a pair for that much money. Not too much later. So anyhow, good for the guy who made it. Sorry for the guy who had to buy it. You spent a lot of money on that one. But yeah, his artwork. I don't see one here. But luckily, some people did the self-censoring of the photos, so I don't have to do that. Yeah, there you go. Rockin Jelly Bean artwork. It all eventually finds its way on eBay. It happens. Some posters more than others. But yeah. Anyhow, if you missed it, you missed it. But hopefully you're able to get it. Okay. What's going on here? Jordan writes, I'm a lifelong Godzilla fan as well. Hopefully we see a Naked and Famous collab in the future. Mm-hmm. I'm keeping my fingers crossed. I think we can make it happen. I think we can make that happen. Joey Decay writes, I want a Space Jam collab. Yep, but only the Michael Jordan one. I'm not watching the new one. I don't watch remakes. I'm not interested in them.
I do watch remakes, but like remakes from like what we grew up with, like that age group remake is something that like I personally take
offense.
Yeah. Like, for instance, The Thing or like
okay. Right.
What would be another example? Like, there are well-made remakes of, like, old movies.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
But...
Yeah, that's fair. but I don't know why they didn't call it Space Jam 2.
Yeah. That's also my
Why isn't it a sequel? Right? It's like, why do we pretend like the other one didn't exist?
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm not with it. Also, I don't know. Just
I just hate those all these Disney classics. That offends me the most. I'm like, I was already starting to be offended when all of the new Disneys were Pixar kind of style.
Yeah.
And it's just what happened to good old
animation?
Yeah, 2D animation. But and then they came in with
the live action remakes of everything. I'm
I
don't want any of this.
To do that?
Just give me something new, okay? Give me something new.
Yeah, work on something new.
Yeah, I'm happy with new.
Frozen, it was fine. It was you made a lot of money from that. Do that kind of thing.
Yeah, do more Frozen. I'm good with that one.
Do more new things.
Yeah, give me Frozen. Make just infinite sequels of Frozen. Just
keep
it going.
Are doing. I think
is there a Frozen
3? I don't know. I mean, if
No.
not, I'm sure they're working on it.
Yeah, but
Aladdin had 4 movies.
Right. Right. Joey Decay writes, "Screw LeBron. MJ is king. I hate basketball, but I'm Chicago baby. MJ is number 1." Yeah, Jordan is the best. There's no debate about that. Anyone who wants to debate it, they're just incorrect. I'm a big Michael Jordan fan, and did we ever show that jacket off?
Yeah, I think so. I don't know.
On the stream, maybe not.
Maybe not.
You guys got to see this. Found an old Bulls varsity jacket from this is an 80s one, so kind of before the dynasty, but of course that Chicago Bulls logo has never changed, and you've got the wool, you've got the leather sleeves. It's just amazing. I really like this. It doesn't fit me. It fits Risa. So it is.
I want them.
Yeah.
I gotta find a way to clean them.
We definitely have to clean this.
Yeah.
But we were vintage hunting, found this awesome Bulls jacket, so we had to have it. Mm-hmm. I'm a big Chicago Bulls fan.
Yeah, and I like the back has nothing on it too.
Right.
It's not too much.
Yeah, very clean aesthetic. Adam Brown, Bird greater than Jordan. I wouldn't go that far, but I am also a Larry Bird fan. There's nothing I love Larry Bird trash talking. He was a notorious trash talker, and it's just kind of amusing to watch and hear all these awesome Larry Bird stories. The bird is the word. Chris Griffin, I'm making a flip book for my girlfriend for Xmas. I like old animation.
That's cute.
I'm with you on that. Yeah, I like old animation. I'm
flip books are great.
Yeah.
I love.
Faith writes, Larry Legend indeed. 92 Dream Team, Barcelona Olympics. What an amazing time for basketball. I'll tell you that much. I feel bad for everybody who didn't live through that. You just weren't there for.
Yeah, well, you have documentaries too.
Yeah, it's true. You can watch about it, but there is a great documentary on that 92 Dream Team. But the idea that NBA players would get to play in the Olympics for the first time, oh my God. It was just if the Olympics is supposed to be having the best athletes, well, if the NBA players aren't here, it is not. So let's let them in, and it was amazing. Just incredible. And you hear these stories where Charles Barkley's yeah, we would come out to the court, and then the other team wants to take pictures and autographs with us, and we're we're here to kill you right now, right? We're here to destroy you.
Yeah, but when you're just okay, it's not even a competition, so right. I'm still a fan.
Right. All right. Felix CH writes, will there be a Wonka chocolate jeans? All of our products are Wonka-esque in a way. If you think about it, they're all crazy and weird creations. I don't know if we'd ever do a Wonka.
Charlie
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Collab.
I mean, the problem is, like, what do you, like...
Like, are we gonna make a Oompa Loompa?
Yeah, I don't want to make Oompa Loompa jeans. And, like, Willy Wonka as a character, yeah, there's something there, but I don't know if there's, like, enough for a wider collection. I'm not sure.
I'm sure we could do it. I don't know if we want to do it, I think is the answer.
Right. Pedro writes, what's the 411 on the Simons & Co. jeans that were made? Just came across one on eBay. Okay, well, first I want to say that how many people know what 411 is?
I know.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the younger generation, they don't.
Yeah, but I've never, like, had it growing up.
You never had to call information? Information. So what the 411 on the Simons & Co. So
Wait, describe 411 for people who don't know.
When before you had Google and you wanted to know something about, where's the local laundromat or whatever, you can call 411 and there would be a person there to give you information.
Real person.
Yeah.
Give you like a local information. It's just amazing.
Yeah. Where's like poison control, and they'll tell you. It's kind of like Movie Phone, but except with that was an automated service. I used to love Movie Phone. I used to use that, and
I don't think I've ever used that.
Yeah.
I don't think that was a thing.
And I would call the pro wrestling hotlines. So in our yellow pages, it was free, and it would have like a weekly pro wrestling. They had all kinds of like free numbers that you can call, like you want your horoscope or things like that.
What do they tell you? What are the matches are? Or
no, like just kind of gossip. So like now there's the internet and forums and like everybody knows.
So you call one day and then like next day it's a different information.
It was like once a week, and I remember calling that hotline, and on that hotline I forget which Royal Rumble it was, but it was the one where Shawn Michaels was entered as number 1 and won the whole Royal Rumble.
Okay.
And so I remember calling that hotline, and then the hotline said, the rumor is that Shawn Michaels is going to win the Royal Rumble. And I remember being like, okay. And I remember we went to our buddy's house, and I made a bet, and I'm like, Shawn Michaels is going to win. And Shawn Michaels, nobody had ever won from number 1 position before. And Shawn Michaels.
You knew that Shawn Michaels was going to be number 1?
Yeah. I don't know if I knew that, but I knew that he was going to win. And, I knew that he was going to win. And he won. And I'm like, holy cow. How did they know that? And so I was... Is
that when your magic was revealed?
When was the magic of wrestling revealed? I don't know. It just kind of like, sorry children out there, but it's kind of like as the Santa story starts to fall apart a little bit.
I don't know when I learned that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't
even remember thinking Santa is real, honestly.
Oh, well, who'd you think the guy in the chair was at the mall?
There was no mall.
All right.
Well, there was no Santa. There was Santa, like, at, kindergarten and elementary school, but it was clearly somebody,
I see. Yeah, no, there was good mall Santas where I was at. Definitely thought they were Santa. But anyhow, back to Simons & Co. So they're actually, let's pull it up on the internet.
That was a very big detour.
Big detour. If you know me, we're going to go for a couple of swerves here and there. So in Quebec, there is a department store called Simons. They have expanded across Canada, but it is, hold on, I just want to bring it up. I want the website to load. And so Simons has, up until maybe like 5 or 6 years ago, really just been a Quebec thing, and they had stores all over Quebec. There's a beautiful store in downtown Montreal, and we've been working with them for very many years. And we hold on, here they are. Bang. So Simons. So in Quebec, they're mostly known as like Simons or Maison Simons, and they're a department store, fashion retailer. They have everything from like home goods to like Rick Owens and everything in between. Like they'll carry like Nike sweatpants and Adidas and fun graphic tees to like high-end designer stuff. They have a contemporary denim department. That's where you'll find our products. So they carry a lot of everything. And they've been a great supporter of ours since practically day one. And because they are from Quebec, they like to support Quebec-made things, Canadian companies. They carry a lot of Canada Goose. They have a lot of great stuff. Simons is really... whenever I talk about like the pain of working with department stores, Simons is literally the opposite. Mm-hmm. They are the best. These guys, out of any department store, they know what they're doing. They really... I could do an entire 2-hour live stream on why Simons is awesome, right? They're so good to work with. They understand the business. They understand your position.
And it makes sense because like the department stores have been in humongous decline. Most of them out of business today. But like Simons expanded. It was just like it was a complete opposite trajectory.
Yeah. So we've worked with them many times, many seasons, and I forget what year it was, but literally the owner of Simons came to our office and was presenting this idea that for their anniversary, I don't remember which anniversary it was offhand, but it might have been 150-year anniversary or something like that. They're old. It's a very old company.
How old is Canada?
Canada is 1867.
Oh, so Simons
is older than Canada since 1840.
How's that possible?
Well, the Bay is even older than that.
Right, but Bay like formed Canada basically.
Bay formed Canada in a way, like the Hudson's Bay Company, and like that's just how a lot of things were done back then. But Simons has been around for a long time.
So before that, was it part of British Empire?
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah, we were a British territory. Mm-hmm. So they came. They explained that they were having this big anniversary and they wanted to create these collections, and so we created a collection for them. There was a variety of products that we did. I'm not sure which jeans you're looking at, but there were some jeans. I believe there was a chore coat. I don't remember everything offhand, but it basically came down to like them telling us that they wanted us to be a part of their celebration, and so we created a special collection just for them. And like I said, one of the best people, one of the best companies to do work with, and I'm also going to say it, out of any buying team, the most professional, not just in terms of like the way they do business, but in terms of the way they dress. They are 100% the best dressed buying team out there. When the Simons buyers come by, like, they'll usually come to our showroom in Montreal, like to do like, the work. But like, we'll always see them internationally. Like, we'll see them in Paris. We'll see, like, they'll probably be in Italy. They'll be at every trade show. Like, they'll be in Italy for Pitti. They'll be in Paris. They'll be in New York. They'll be in Las Vegas. They're always everywhere because they're always on top of everything. They want to know what's going on. And the buyers are always dressed up perfect. Suits, beautiful suits, great ties, like, just immaculate dressing. And
very, like, professional but friendly. Like, very nice people.
Like, we could give them a hug kind of thing, right? Whereas, you see some of the buyers coming around and they're just like so disheveled, and I'm like, you work in what? Who do you work for? Like, what industry are you in? Like, you're in the wrong place, buddy. Like, sorry to judge, but I have to say that in that field, it's kind of like going to like a luxury watch event and, maybe you have a really, really high-end watch. Not only do they understand the business, they understand fashion, they live it, they breathe it. It's the whole package.
And it's not easy because, like, I've been in the trade show circuit for a long time, and I'm mostly, like, you know, whenever like I'll go, like I've been traveling extensively, like leading up to that trade show, and you know, it's hard to look professional when you're traveling and walking around all day, and you know, like your personal like luggage space is very limited. And to me, especially, like I've always worked in menswear, so it's just like, you know, I have to wear something from the brand, but it's all men's and it's just, you know, big, and you know, it's hard not to look disheveled. I think I've been very unprofessional looking.
No, but we're in jeans. Shows. Like our look is a little bit more casual, flannels and jeans and things like that.
Yeah,
you know, we're not sitting.
I'm just saying, traveling, looking nice. It's not so easy to do.
A bigger testament to their efforts when they're out traveling.
Definitely.
What's going on? Vance Edwards writes, Bahzad, cut your sides short and have Risa do a dragon braid for the center and become a modern day Viking. I don't have the muscles to be a modern day Viking. I would not be a convincing Viking.
We'll be a convincing like a Native American looking person.
Maybe.
We did that
double braids.
Yeah. And he kind of looked like a Native American.
I'm very ethnically ambiguous. I could be anything, and people will believe it.
One time you did the
cornrows.
Yeah. That was weird.
That was a tough one. We were at a trade show, and the food services lady was like out. I guess she was making some side money, and she was like doing some braids on people, and I'm like, how much to do my braids? And she's, I don't know, she's like $20 or something like that. And right then and there, in the middle of the trade show, in the middle of her shift, she's doing my braids, and she says to me, because I never did my braids before, and she says to me, "Are you tender-headed?" And I'm like, I don't know what that means, but I don't think so. Anyways, she braided the bejesus out of my hair. Like, my head was pulled back tight. Like, you could tell. And, like, I could feel it. And, like, you know, the braids were pretty cool, but I couldn't stand it. Like, that evening, I had to take them out.
Yeah.
And, like, she saw me the next day. She's like, you took the braids out already? And I'm like, oh, man, my head was killing me.
Yeah.
And
so it turns out you are tender-headed.
Turns out I was.
Yeah, I used to do, like, with synchronized swimming, you have to, like, tight bun. Yeah. And then, like, put the gelatin over it. So, like, you literally are like this. Like, literally. And because otherwise, like, when you're swimming, it's just going to come out. And, like, you would have to, like, wash it off immediately after. Otherwise, like, your head is going to explode. So I think it was the same kind of...
Definitely. So I'm probably not going to get too many cornrows done again, but I do enjoy pigtails or braided pigtails. It's always a good look. Pedro writes, I don't see how people do cornrows. I definitely am tender-headed. I tried it once and threw in the towel after one row. Yeah, it's...
yeah, I'm sure it's very uncomfortable.
Right.
Yeah.
Or you know, you've done it so many times.
Yeah, you get used to it, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It's kind of a cool idea. You just, your hair is out of the way for, you know, days. It's kind of cool. But,
we dropping, somebody says. I think, our internet connection is not the best, but thanks for hanging on anyways, folks. I know it can be a little annoying when the internet punches out like that.
I am going to look up dragon.
What are you looking up?
Dragon braids.
Dragon braid. It's not tight. You would like it. All right, well, we're going to look it up, and maybe next week. Oh, I see.
It's like a cartoon character, like a anime character.
Right. Okay, well, we're going to do it. Double dragon braids. That's what we'll do. We'll do it this weekend.
Okay,
guys, we're going to jump into snack time.
Right.
we're going to jump into snack time because we got something special today, something a little bit different. We've done a lot of chips as of late, but we're going to get into a fun drink. Risa's bringing that out right now. We've got Marc Lucier in the chat saying, J'aime bien Simons. Us too. We really love Simons. J'adore Maison Simons. Okay, guys, what do we got here, Risa?
We got winter strawberry milk tea. So this is a Boss. Boss is famous for canned coffee.
Right.
They do a great canned coffee. But this one is the winter special edition, and it is a strawberry flavored milk tea with a little bit of like condensed milk flavor.
Okay. And in Japan, if you guys don't know,
In Japan,
the
I forgot about
the spokesperson for Boss Coffee forever has been Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
He's on so many ads in this country, and
yeah, like those things don't happen anymore so much. Like back in the days, it was very popular to use like Hollywood, like like big Hollywood stars.
Yeah.
In Japanese commercials,
right?
Because these people would never do TV commercials in a million years in the United States,
right?
But they would do it in Japan because nobody watches it.
Right, no one was gonna see it.
And then, I mean, it's a good money. It's easy money because it's a commercial, compared to movies.
Right.
And and usually like they do funny things because Japanese commercials are like funny.
Look up like there's Cindy Crawford and Arnold Schwarzenegger commercials from like the 80s and 90s. Brad Pitt for Edwin. Like I knew Brad Pitt from Edwin, and he's singing. He's singing songs and stuff.
It is.
Yeah, like look him up, and like he was all over Japan for so long.
There's a bit in Friends about Joey getting that like weird lipstick commercial in Japan. Yeah, and that's not like, I mean, that was a joke, obviously, but it was kind of like that.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them.
Look up like American celebrity Japanese commercials on YouTube, and you're gonna find a ton.
Yeah, but the longest running one I would say is Boss and
Tommy Lee
for Brad Pitt.
Yeah. But yeah. Anyhow, Boss Coffee.
Yeah.
Cheers to Tommy Lee Jones. Merry Christmas to you and your wonderful products that you support here in Japan. This is condensed milk strawberry tea from the people who make Boss Coffee.
Yeah, with a hint of condensed milk, you said.
So cheers.
Strawberry. Yeah.
Happy holidays, everybody.
It does have like a strong smell of strawberry and condensed milk, but when you drink it,
you don't really get the taste of the strawberry. I mean, there's a little.
It does, yeah. The taste is very like, it's not rich at all. It's very like watery.
Yeah. It tastes watery. It smells like strawberry candy. It really doesn't hit you with the taste of strawberry.
Maybe this is better like hot.
Is it supposed to be hot?
No, it's not supposed to be hot. Like it's over ice. But it might be better hot. I don't know.
That's not it. That's no good. That goes in the not good category.
It is not. It's not like disgusting again, but it's. I would not buy this again.
No, this is a one-time.
I don't see
only.
the point of this.
No, it's no. There's nothing here. This whoever, they're very good at flavors and random flavors, but this one shouldn't have been approved.
I like the idea. If the smell is like the taste, like I can see this being like a popular Starbucks drink. You know what I mean? If it's more rich. If
it was more sweet, maybe. Yeah. Okay, well, ranking. This is going to go 2-2. It's low.
2-2? 2-2. Oh, wow, that's low. I was going to say like 3-0 maybe. It's just... you know, it's not impressive, but it's also not like gross.
I mean, yeah. I mean, you could drink it and you'd just be like, that sucked. But
it doesn't suck. Like, to me, it doesn't suck. It's just, it's not good.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh, this is delicious.
Celeste writes, you got boss boozled. We did. We got bamboozled here. I'm not boss boozled. But that said, the good people at the Boss Craft Coffee Corporation, along with Tommy Lee Jones, they do a good job generally. This just wasn't my favorite one. I think they could do better.
Yeah. Especially, you know, it's such a good holiday drink idea. The execution was not right.
So, there you have it. If you're in Japan right now, avoid this. And if you're thinking about coming to Japan to drink this specifically, don't do it. Don't waste your money, but come to Japan anyways. And there's more delicious things to enjoy. Yeah. And that's what we're gonna leave.
This is a 600 milliliter bottle.
That's a lot of liquid. So there you have it, everybody. What rating is disgusting? Disgusting is sub 1. Sub 1 is disgusting.
Anything on the 1 is not good. Like a gross.
Yeah.
But disgusting will be 0 points.
Well, 0 is, I would not give a 0.
Yeah, because 0 doesn't exist.
Yeah, right. It would be like, oh, here's a drink for you to try, and there's no drink. So
or like it's not, like it's rotten. It's not edible.
Yeah,
like, then that's 0. But it's
yeah.
If it's,
would I give a rotten drink a 0? I guess because it's not really a drink.
Right? Yeah, because you can't drink it.
Right. Undrinkable.
Yeah.
Undrinkable and non-existent are 0s.
Yeah.
Non-existent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Like if somebody were like, if I ordered a drink and I'm there to review it and they don't deliver the drink, it gets a 0.
That's a 0.
Yeah, that's a 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like if you don't hand in your homework, you get a 0. Yes, Caterpie. Oh wait, look, move your chair. You gotta slide around. Oh,
sorry.
She's Risa made this little tent for the cats, and she's out of here.
Sorry.
It's okay. We almost had it. We almost had a live.
In the wrong direction.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is my cat tent, and they did not. I made it in the summer, and they did not like it, but in the winter time, they go in.
Yeah, they've been enjoying it lately. So, there you have it, everybody. We're gonna wrap it up here.
Mm-hmm.
This is. I mean, it wasn't so festive of an episode, but this is the festive episode. Merry Christmas, everybody. We hope you have a really, really good one out there. Mm-hmm. Hopefully, you're already in the holiday mood. We'll be back again next week, another live stream. And we'll be there right before the new year. So we'll
right
be here
in the middle of the festivities.
That's it. So have yourself a merry little Christmas. Be well. Be nice to yourselves. Do something nice for yourself this week. Do something nice for somebody else. And we'll see you guys again soon. It's been a real joy sharing these moments with you each and every single week. And we look forward to doing even more of them. But we're not going to say in next year until next week. Next year, we're going to look forward to it even more next year. Yeah. But right now, we're just saying Merry Christmas, and that's that. So enjoy your jeans, stay warm, and happy holidays to all of our lovely friends and fans out there in the Raw Denim world. And thank you for joining us on the greatest Raw Denim live stream in the entire universe right here, right now. So, farewell, everyone.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Good day.